we go. Okay. I'm like, my Zoom has been loading for the last 10 minutes. Let me pull up. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Hi, happy Tuesday. Hold on, my volume is low. There we go. Okay, cool. Hey guys. How's everybody feeling?
It's a blizzard outside of Toronto, so I'm like, you know,
Hey, Beyonce. Aw.
Mhm.
It's I mean it's cold, but I don't know, Atlanta's just weird right now. Hopefully we can just get through this, get to spring, and then we good. Man.
I've been seeing y'all like skiing down the street, sledding, all that, and I'm just like, you guys are so cute. Give it like a week. Give it like a week, you know?
Yeah, I don't care too much for snow like that and ice.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Mm.
I'm good.
No, for me.
Yeah, I don't do cold.
Mm.
Um, so did you guys on Thursday I sent the video of Luther. I was just curious how you guys liked the lesson and what were some of the takeaways from that session that he did for us.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I was so hyped for this one, and I remember growing up back, like, oh my God, Luther Brown, because he's a big perspective about a lot of things, especially where I just thought he went straight to he really struck out to me that I really sticks about tour and the things that without you even knowing it, like it's the little things and his emphasis on just being a dope person and the emphasis on being on time and being punctual and not always adding, when you're in a space with respect to being part of a skeleton crew and having your own sauce and being your own person, but not needing to do the most and like offer like, oh my gosh, like maybe we should do this and that. And being respectful when it comes to a choreographer who invites you into a room. So
Mhm.
it was just really eye-opening to me. Uh, on one side with the logistics of, yeah, being on time, not missing lobby calls, um, making sure that you're clean, you smell good, making sure that you're nice to hair and makeup people, make sure you don't throw stuff around, and even like the logistics of tour with respect to honestly, there were so many things, but definitely him talking about the Daddy Yankee experience and how they changed costumes like 5 times, and it might be an 8 count, and you got 2 8 counts to run up to the third flow. And make sure you in that position, make sure you're not crossing in front of the artist. Just but the last thing I will say was the biggest takeaway was him talking about there's a reason why there's certain dancers who get asked back and you constantly see them on different tours.
Mhm.
And that stuck out to me because I'm just like, okay, yeah, they're dope as a dancer, but that means logistically they're on their P's and Q's with everything. Um, yeah, and so that's just what I've been thinking about and just making sure that I'm A1 on and off the dance floor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So I can go all day with Luther. Like it was so much that he gave. I was just like, oh my God, every dancer needs to hear this. So good. Yeah, I'm glad that was good. That was good takeaways for sure from that one. You had some, Alicia?
Yeah. Basically kind of similar to Tracy. I've been to like a lot of masterclass. Wait, can you guys hear me? Because I
Uh-huh.
don't. Oh, okay. Um, I've been to a lot of like different master classes, intensives, and stuff, and a lot of choreographers basically say the same thing in terms of it's the person that you are that books you more jobs than the talent ever will.
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes like I hear it all the time, but you know how sometimes it takes that one time like for you to really hear it. Like maybe you hear it in a different space and you're like, okay. Cause I think about it like even the on time aspect, like I'm always on time. Okay. Like I'm always early to classes. Like or any intensive, just anywhere in general. And I always think like, damn, like I'm just sitting here early. Like I feel like it doesn't count for anything, you know? So it was good to hear, especially in a space where I was like to hear the, it counts. Those things matter. They see those
Yeah.
things too. Like yes, there's other things that I can do to up my chances of being booked and to be seen by like a choreographer. But the other things that I'm doing, like being on time or being talking to like being nice to somebody else or like just being the type of person that I am also matters and is also being seen. So I don't know. That was just something I guess like I needed to hear in that moment. But there were a lot of things like a lot of gems that he was dropping, but that really was sticking out to me because I think just in the space that I'm in right now is what I needed to receive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like when I asked him to, come and talk, it was I remember he was like, yeah, I don't think he's on vacation at that time, whatever. And that was dope. Like, so I was like, oh, that's what's up. You showing up on your on your days off on vacay just to still give such invaluable insight and gems and wisdom and stuff that you ain't gonna ever hear from nobody ever, ever, especially in no class setting. It's just never happening. Um, so yeah, it was so much, so many funny moments. I was like, exactly, exactly. Something you talk about with tour. Oh my God, you just don't even think about those things until you're in it. And I think it's dope to just try to like have context beforehand. It just helps bring everything into perspective. And I mean, I low key just want to like send that to anybody that wants to watch it. Y'all just need to watch it. Just need to watch it. Just need to listen. You ain't got to watch. Just listen to what he's saying because it can get you a job. It can help allow you to keep a job just from the stuff that he was saying alone. Like you said, outside of talent, and that's the thing that a lot of dancers kind of miss. And you just always assuming that your dancing is enough, and it ain't. It ain't, unfortunately. So yeah, I know Lenata, you just came in. I was just asking everybody about the lesson from Luther, and just some of the takeaways from that Zoom session we had. And I feel like that might have been 2023 or two. I can't remember, but it was a couple of years ago, but it still resonates today. So there'll be a few more you guys will also be able to like hear and get some more insight too that our guest coaches that and I have some more coming as well that are going to be able to kind of just add a different perspective and also being able to just get insight in other areas of the business. So it's not just like I know I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything, but I know that there are other spaces and people that you can connect with that can offer already what you have. So he's one of those people. But I wanted to it's so funny because like everything's most of the time when we like talk about some of the stuff, a lot of stuff is like kind of happening in real time. So it's always great to bring, you know, today or, in what's going on as we go to sessions and kind of talking about some of the things. So one of the things that I think a lot of dancers not forget, but don't really put a lot of importance in is the creative process or the rehearsals. And I always used to be like, yo, I love going to rehearsal. Like, I just always felt it wasn't like rehearsal. It was like, if you're going to the job, you don't do the job first. You go through a rehearsal process or creative process or whatever to get to the quote unquote job. So when y'all book it, you're like, oh my God, I'm booked for VMAs. I'm doing the VMAs. And so everybody's talking about the VMAs, but nobody really talks about the part that happens before you get to the VMA. The VMA is an actual event, but the job starts when you got booked, and then we go to rehearsals, and then you go to text, and then you go to do the show. So the rehearsal, I think, sometimes gets overlooked. It's like it's just a thing that happens before we do the job, and I'm just like, no, but that is the job. The job is actually the rehearsal. So the job, oh Lord Jesus, the job is the rehearsals. Hence, that's why I created the room. I was like, oh y'all thinking, oh y'all just worried about these little performances, and y'all worried about this video shoot, and you worried about, the tour actually happening. But we ain't talking about the actual process of you learning and being in the room and like going through the creative process and all of that. So that's where the room stemmed from. It was a almost like an epiphany I was having doing a rehearsal for an artist, and the dancers in the room were like not understanding what I was saying. It was kind of like, well, you're supposed to do this, and these are things that you should just know. This is just, I shouldn't have to tell you this. And so when I realized they didn't know, I was like, oh, you don't know. You don't know. Okay. So then this has to be a class. So how do I create a class to teach you what you're supposed to be doing in the rehearsal? So then we just created this whole thing, the room. And so if you follow me, you definitely know we've done like 10 now. So we're about to do the film edition. And that was basically my inspiration behind it, was creating that environment for you to get as close to the real thing as possible, so that when you get to the real thing, you have already simulated what it's going to be. You won't go into that job not prepared or not understanding what the choreographer is expecting of you, or not understanding these are the things that I do in here, and these are some things that I should not be doing in here. These are the things that's expected of me. This is how this kind of rehearsal goes versus this rehearsal. So rehearsal to me is actually the most important part of any dancer's career, because you spend most of the time there anyway. Y'all there, how many times y'all say, oh my God, I got rehearsal tonight. I got rehearsal tonight. You don't ever say, oh, I got BMA tonight. I got BET tonight. I got a music video tonight. I got a tour tonight. You like, I got rehearsal today and tomorrow. I got rehearsal all this week. I got rehearsal for the next couple of days. Like, that's the conversations we're always having. So we always in there. That's important. Then we need to study that a little bit more and really make that a thing that's like, give it its own, respect. Because technically, without that, you're not about to do nobody's music video or nobody's show, Coachella, Rolling Loud, tour, whatever, without rehearsing. So rehearsal to me has become important because I'm always going to treat it like the show. So for me, when I rehearse as a dancer, I was already on the job. It was happening in the sweat in the room. We was in my mind. I was already on the stage. I was already, you know, imagining the arena, or I was already imagining the cameras like on set. So my energy and motivation was never, I'm just doing this to whatever until I get to the real thing. So I treated the rehearsal as the job. So that is for me a great tactic to approach when you start working or start getting booked and hired. You're going into the rehearsal space as if it is the actual show, the job, the tour, the video, whatever it is that you are rehearsing for. Um, and to the all the way to the point where in your like even how you look and like how you are, because rolling out of bed and just going to rehearsal, talking about I'm just going to rehearsal, then that and you looking like you about to go take the garbage outside. Then I think that's what the energy is going to be giving when you get there. It's not going to be giving, I'm about to kill this shit. No, it's like I'm just here and gonna learn this choreo, and then I'm going home, and then that's it. And that's the energy, and if that's the energy that you're giving, that's the type of jobs you're gonna be on. Versus going to rehearsals like I'm about to go rehearse with Beyonce. Even though this ain't Beyonce yet, I'm going to this rehearsal like it's her. So what do I look like? How do I feel? You know what I'm saying? What's my approach? What's my energy? I'm mentally already dancing with Beyonce, even though this ain't Beyonce job yet. You can't wait till you get to the Beyonce job and then decide you're gonna show up to the rehearsal like it's a Beyonce job. I'm showing up back here for the Beyonce job. It ain't there yet. It's on the way. But that's how I'm treating it. I'm treating this like the platinum selling artist or, the blockbuster movie, whatever you want it to be. So rehearsals are to me the actual job. It's the real show. It is the thing that separates good from great. You know, this isn't in the room, I call it, is the space. Yes, you get to, learn choreo and go through the creative process, but you also are, it's a great learning space because you're getting adapting to change and, switching shit up and like, okay, now you got to learn the left side. Okay, now you got to freestyle on this part now. Okay, now you got to hear these two counts of eight real quick, or switch up the style, the texture, the feel. Okay, my freestyle gonna be like this. Okay, now I gotta add a trick here, or now I gotta do another special skill. Like it's all of that. It's not organized all the time. It's not it's not class. I'll say that. It ain't class. You're not gonna go in rehearsal and be waiting on the choreographer to give you these steps. And you just like, no, actually, sometimes there ain't no steps. So it's your job to be the muse and to be a vessel for the choreographer, for the artist, the creative director to create. They don't know what they want to do yet. So your job is to show up and figure it out with them. Hey, I don't know what I want to do, but I need some inspiration. Being able to move freely, being able to, contribute sometimes even just movement wise. That's important when you're in the rehearsal space. It is to me the sanctuary for a choreographer because sometimes they don't have time to prep or they ain't had time to make up the steps before they got there. It's like, we about to make it up now. So, I don't know what the counts are. Don't ask. We're figuring it out as we go. Just being in that type of environment comfortably and not feeling like it's supposed to be like class. Yes, when you go to class, 9 times out of 10, the choreographer has already choreographed it. So they just teach it to you. And then you just regurgitate the steps, put it on tape, and then you're done. Rehearsal, no, we're gonna be in there for some hours most of the time, 4, 6, 8, maybe, depending on what it is. And we're creating. It's happening. We're gonna get this thing together and we're gonna work it out. But it is the best place to learn and grow as a dancer. Hands down. Hands down. I don't think there's any other space outside of the performance part that you can really grow and learn. Class will only get you so far because this you're limited with the length of time. So class, yes, you might get an hour and a half, hour, 2 hours at the most, and it's rare somebody about to be taking 5 classes a day. That just ain't happening. So rehearsal is going to be the space where you can like really stretch as a dancer, get a length of time in where you can actually get some choreo, but also get personal development, dancer development, mental strength development, physical strength, stamina building, being able to learn a bunch of choreography, at once. That class you probably you just learned that verse and that hook, maybe. Now we learning whole songs, in a setting that might be an 8-hour day. So if you rehearsing for a tour, you might be trying to knock out 3 songs. That's like three 4 to 5 minute records. And we're learning that in a day type of energy. So that's why the rehearsal lets you know where you at. Also, what's your retention? Are you able to pick up quicker? How are you learning? What's your energy like? Those are things that you figure out when you're in the rehearsal space. And there's oddly enough today, like I had rehearsal for a commercial, but we was at a hotel lobby. So, every rehearsal ain't gonna be dance studio life either. It's not gonna be, oh my gosh, you got the mirrors and the speakers and it's the Marley wood floor, whatever, air conditioning, or heat. It ain't gonna always be that. So, yes, you have dance studio rehearsal, but then sometimes you're gonna be at a hotel. The job, hey, we were rehearsing at the hotel lobby. We at the hotel conference room, rehearsing for this commercial. There is no dance studio. So being able to adapt in the different types of settings that you're going to have when you are working with an artist or a TV show or movie, or, getting ready for a performance, a live show. Don't get so caught up and accustomed to being in a certain type of setting in order for you to learn. It's like, oh my God, I'm not in a classroom or I'm not in a dance studio, and y'all trying to teach me stuff, and I'm looking at the back of you. Yes, I gotta learn from the back of you. There ain't no mirror. No mirror. So how are you learning in that type of environment? This is how the rehearsal is. There is no mirror. So this rehearsal for this artist for this show we got coming up, that's tomorrow. We just gonna meet. We're meeting at the lobby the day before and learning the choreo for the show. Oh no, here's video. Hey, I need you to learn this dance. Here's the video from the show. And you gotta learn it from your phone. Mm, gotta learn the choreo from your phone. Like that's a real thing. I've learned a whole tour from the videos. There was no rehearsal in the studio. Like, I don't know. You go rent the rehearsal out in the studio and you go learn this choreo. I don't care where you learn it at, as long as you got it. You trying to get booked on this tour. So it's not, get out of the traditional, this is how this goes. No, don't. It can go all kind of, we can be rehearsing in wherever. I have been in the most hole in the wall places with like actors, and they like, hey, figure it out. I don't know. It ain't no mirrors. Here's a little speaker. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta feel good. It's gotta be amazing. So I've definitely gone out of the mental space. Like, class is cool. I just think that we gotta figure out ways to get into more spaces that allow you to get closer to what you're really trying to do. So whenever I do the room, it's just like, I'd be like, this is common sense. Everybody should be trying to get in here, only because I just understand, if I'm trying to work on this type of job, it's like, let me get in those type of training spaces. It's not always just go take this hour and a half, 2 hour class and get these 8 counts. And then this 4, 5 counts of 8, and then class is over. You don't take, that's it. No, I need to actually know what it feels like to learn a whole song, like in an hour. How do I do that? Have I ever done that before? Have you ever had to learn a whole song? Not the verse and the hook, a whole song, beginning to end, in like a setting. What does that feel like? Have you experienced that? And if you haven't, that's how you need to get into those, more of those type of spaces as often as possible, because it just kind of builds up your regiment of what you're going to be preparing for. As you say, I want to dance for such and such and such and such and such and such. Because when you get into such and such as rehearsal, that's the energy they're going to be on. Okay, next number. Okay, next number. Huh? Yes, it's the same day. So you might be lucky you get dance rehearsal, studio, cool, awesome. Then if you are working with an artist, they have, traditionally they'll have like a sound check. So you might be doing let's say you got a club show, or let's say you got birthday bash. Okay, like, oh, but for birthday bash, and we have a sound check. So you might have had your rehearsals in the studio, but now we got to go to the stage and do a sound check. And typically that's more so for the artists, but for dancers, you want to be able to take advantage of that opportunity to be on stage. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually on the stage. Definitely ain't no mirrors. We done with that. We out here. It's happening. It's seats where the audience is going to be. You might be in an arena. You might be in a club. And it's a smaller stage. It might be a festival, and it's just like a field. But you might have you get those opportunities to do sound check. Sound check is, for the artists to check their mic levels and all that. But for you as a dancer, you want to be on a stage setting, whatever performance setting for the sound check, and you want to be full out. So there is no, when I think about sound checks or any type of rehearsals, I just don't know. I don't believe in marking at that point. We just got to go for it, because you need to see what that feels like being on that type of stage. Now coming from a dance studio onto the sound check stage, it may be much bigger or smaller. They may have a ramp that you got to run out now too, that you didn't have at the dance studio. So being able to adjust and figure out what changes are being made, because there will be changes made. You will never ever rehearse in a studio and then get to the actual location and it's exactly how you rehearsed it. It will never be the same. Something is changing, whether you coming in sooner or later, whether you, okay, now before we was upstage, now we downstage. Okay, before I exited stage left, now I gotta exit stage right. You know, before I was making sure I came, brought the mic stand to the left, now I gotta bring it to the right. So something is going to change. And so that is your job as the professional to adjust and make the changes. So, okay, yes, I know we did it like that in a dance rehearsal, but it ain't happening like that now. Now we got to do it like this. I need you to be able to adjust and adapt. I need you to figure it out. Okay, this is going to happen like this now. So when the mic stand is on this side for this placement, okay, make sure you bring the mic to the artist. Okay, now we got to make sure they got to get their towel or their water. Okay, your cue was like this. Now it's going to be this. So it's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of like, oh, okay, we didn't practice it like that. Nobody cares. We making adjustments as we go. So sound check, go full out always. Don't ever mark it. The sound check is also great for when you are like, let's say you are on an arena show and they may have like the Jumbotron, so you can kind of see yourself like larger than life. So imagine if you are dancing a certain style of dance and it's not reading, think of yourself as a big person. So somebody's watching you on the Jumbotron. So your energy needs to be huge if somebody is in the, the upper level seats. So you might be on the arena stage. How you was dancing in that studio might not be enough because you was in your judge. Now we're in a bigger space. So make sure you adjust accordingly based on what type of show you got. So if it's a club, like I've done hole in the wall clubs. I'm talking about hole in the wall clubs with artists and the stage is tiny. Like, oh, there's no room. And we supposed to be, going off big, but there's no room. So you adjust accordingly. Okay, hey, yeah, all that switching and stuff we was doing before, we won't be doing all that now because the stage doesn't allow that. So it's okay. And then the opposite can be true. Big ass stage. Oh, I gotta run all the way to the other side. So like, I ain't gonna make it. So we gonna just like, let's just go to the ends and then we come back in, whatever. You just make your adjustments. That's your job. If there's a choreographer, normally they'll do that, but sometimes it's not a choreographer. You gotta figure it out. Just make it make sense. But use your sound checks always as a means to take advantage of rehearsal on stage, figuring out where your cameras are sometimes, even if if it's like a festival show or club, whatever, like just knowing where everything is lighting wise. And sound checks are similar to, I would say tech rehearsals, because tech rehearsals would be more for like TV, like live shows like BET Awards, Grammys, Billboard, iHeart, VMAs, all those type of award shows that are live. So it's like even like early morning shows like Good Morning Americas and Today Show and or Jimmy Fallon, those nighttime shows. Those are like live broadcast television shows. So you're gonna have to have a tech rehearsal. So award shows, you're gonna always have a tech rehearsal because artists be trying to do everything. So they want pyro and fire, they want water, they want strobe lighting, they want smoke, they want to come from the ceiling, they want to do pop-ups, they want to conveyor belts and stairs and ramps and poles and everything. They want the works. And so the tech rehearsal you must do because I can promise you none of that was in the dance studio when you started learning. So you did rehearsals in the dance studio and then y'all went to this tech rehearsal and now you on this stage that's got all these lights and it's like markings and stage hand people and the stage is real shiny. It's like that shiny floor. And then you got steps and LED screens and jumbo. It's like a lot. It's a lot going on. So your tech rehearsal is necessary for broadcasting to millions. So if we were doing BET Awards and you guys had rehearsals and then you're getting ready for the actual award show, maybe the day before or maybe 2 days before the actual show, you'll do a tech rehearsal if it's that type of show. Live, like Good Morning Americas and all that, they will do a tech sound check run before the show, like right before the show, like morning before, like crocodile before the show. If you're doing Good Morning America and you're going on at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m., you would have done a sound check, tech rehearsal like 5 a.m., like crazy early. Jimmy Fallon, he's taped. It's live, but it's still taped, like a pre-tape, but it's live. So they tape it, you do it, and that's it, and then it airs later. They also have tech rehearsals, and more so for camera blocking, for people that are like the camera ops and the director for those type of shows, just so they know what you're doing. So if you are somebody that is going to be flipping, you need to do that at the tech rehearsal so that they know, oh, you flip. Okay. We're going to make sure we catch that. If you don't flip in the tech rehearsal and they don't know you flipping and then you try to do it on the live, they missed you. They didn't see it because you didn't do it in the tech. So anytime you have a tech rehearsal, sound check, something that's televised, please make sure you do all of the things that you would do for the real show so that they know, like, oh shit, oh, you split on that part. Okay, okay. Camera ops is paying attention. When you're dancing on stage, find your cameras so that the camera people know to cut to you on this part, because that's when you look at the camera like, oh yeah, on that part I remember the girl, she looked at the camera on this, and it's like, and then you know how y'all watch award shows and you see somebody looking at the camera like a dancer performing, it's like, oh, that's tight. It's because when they did that tech rehearsal, that's how they rehearsed it, and so the camera people know, cut the camera B, cut the camera B, cut the camera A. They know because in that tech, they saw she lit over there on this part. Got to get it. He killed it on this part. Got to make sure we catch that. Oh, this part she's doing like I think a back handspring. We gotta make sure camera B's on that her on her. I'm aware of that. I know the cameras. I know where all my cameras are. Do out in the front. Whatever. Might be one. It might be one like right there. Know where your cameras are. That's important. So use your tech rehearsal to be familiar with that. And again, it's the same thing when you're dancing with an artist. You just got to be ready for changes. Be ready for, I was doing it like this on this part before. Now I'm not. I was going down the steps on this part. Now I'm not. I was doing this like this before, and now it's changed. And I adjust accordingly because that's what it is. That's your job. You gotta figure it out. That's your job. And tech rehearsals are great because if you're doing a tech, normally it's for a live show, and then once it's done, it's over. We're done. We're done with the live show. Do it one time, it's live, and that's it. It's not the music video or anything like that. But those are some of the type of rehearsals that you want to just kind of gear up for. Don't assume all your rehearsals for jobs are just going to be in a dance studio. No, no, it ain't. It's going to be probably, sometimes it might be in a sound stage. If you're rehearsing for a tour, most tours rehearse in an actual sound stage to build out the stage, to build out the tour. So depending on the size, you might be in a sound stage that's the same size as like a movie because that's how big the tour is. And we are well out of dance studio life. There ain't no mirrors, none of that. You actually are on a harness if you're doing if you're doing that in your tour. You are actually on doing a toaster when you popping up on stage. You actually are on a conveyor belt or steps or whatever that tour is. You're in that space before you even get there, which is great. So you want to get, like, the goal is to tour, of course, on a job. So yeah, I want to be in a tour rehearsal. I want to know what that's like. Tour rehearsal is way more intense because You learning a bunch of songs, a lot like at one time, whole songs, not class edit, whole song, beginning to end, transitions in and out, might have on heels, so now you're running. Y'all remember Beyonce on the run too? Oh no, on the run. I think it was on the run. Both of them really, but on the run. Oh no, formation tour. She had a thing that ran out ran. But I just remember vividly they was running on that ramp and it felt like it was like running for miles to get to the second stage. So it's like you worried about this little transition, this 8 count on this little dance studio. I need you to think about running on this ramp all the way down to get to the second B stage. I'm literally you're running a mile. Like that's how it feels to make it, and then you run it back. It ain't one time. It's throughout the whole show. How long is the show? It's like 2 hours. So like in my mind, like yeah, those type of shows I want to be on, but I gotta be ready. Let me start running now. What can I start doing now to get ready for that type of show? Because I want to dance for Beyonce, but I know I'm about to be running. She's a runner on her tours. I mean, it's always going to be another stage. It ain't going to just be this one little. No, you got some ramps that you got to get down. Imagine you not being able to do that type of tour simply because you weren't your stamina wasn't together. Like you could dance good, but you couldn't keep up because your stamina. So tour rehearsals is crucial. You want to know what that feels like. It's a different type of beast. It is very difficult depending on the type of artist that you are dancing for. We all, of course, want to dance for dance artists, but even if it's a regular artist, they may they may require different styles of dance. Costuming. We ain't even talked about we ain't even got into that yet. Costuming. You might have something big and heavy. Y'all saw Rihanna Super Bowl, big puffy coats, glasses. They trying to bust, and that was only 13 minutes. That was only 13 minutes. So imagine having to dance like that for an hour in that type of outfit to her type of records. Um, so tour rehearsals are definitely different, so just be ready for that. And we have like if you let's say you book a TV show or movie, and you and I'm gonna try. I think on Thursday I'm gonna try to go live because we might be wrapped, but I might still be on set. But anyway, I want to just explain like when you are on a set and you're doing like camera blocking rehearsal, meaning let's rehearse the scene, how we gonna shoot it, so I know. So this is a rehearsal, just how your tech was or your like regular dance rehearsal. Now you're actually in the space. So we're like, right, for example, we rehearsed in an open space today. Clearly the space that we're going to shoot in is not like that. So we go from an open space now to the actual space. So now we have to rehearse what the actual space look like and adjust based on the space, the camera, the angles, lighting, all that. So when you guys get on set and you're getting ready to shoot a scene, be ready to adjust because it probably won't be how you rehearsed it at the dance studio rehearsal with, the nice mirrors and perfect setup. It won't be the same. Um, that's another example of like camera, like on set rehearsals, even with like the cameras, just being aware where your cameras are, understanding, hey, when we do this on set rehearsal, go full out. Go full out. If you do something that's magical and they don't know that, then you waste the film because they ain't gonna be able to use that tape because they didn't know that you was about to do what you just did because you didn't do it in the rehearsal. So just be aware of that. Um, and also when you have like dress rehearsal, those are pretty much most of the time that's really for you to make sure you good. Make sure nothing ain't coming out, no slips, no tears, no rips. If you are a dancer that doesn't dance in heels a lot, and then you find out you're dancing in heels, it's like, oh, we're dancing in heels. Yay. I thought we was gonna be busting in our tennis shoes. Nope, nope. That ain't the look. The wardrobe wants y'all in heels. The artist wants you in heels. So being prepared for the switch. Like, yeah, you guys are wearing heels. Sorry. No sneakers or heavy Tims. We've done choreo, like we got these heavy Tims on. We got these big old jeans. We've had like we got this work belt and this big jacket, and you got all this stuff. And so now you got to adjust to that. You got to make sure you're able to choreography still reads, or that you don't look like you're marking now that you got on different type of clothes, or you've been rehearsing in baggy clothes and that the look is booty shorts and a bra top. So the vibe has changed now. So now you're like, oh man, I was like swaggy, and now I gotta get my judge. I gotta feel that's important. Your outfit matters just as much. So when you have your dress rehearsal, just make sure you understand what that feels like and needs to be, because that will play a really, really important role as well in your performance. Everybody knows how they feel when they are dancing in a certain look, a certain outfit. I love baggy clothes. So, I'm always in baggy sweats or whatever. As a dancer, if I had to switch it up, I just understood what that required. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a sexy number. I'm not about to wear all these baggy clothes. This artist is a male and he likes females to look feminine and whatever, whatever. Okay, cool. I know how to come to this rehearsal and dress the part. So it doesn't mean that I'm like this all the time, but this is the role and the character that I got booked for. So just pay attention to that and be okay with adjusting to the job, because it ain't about you. But it really, it's about the person, the job, whatever it is that they're hiring you for. Um, and if you got booked for something based on that look or whatever, and then you get to rehearsal and you changed it up, switched it up, no. So for instance, if I got booked great example. If I got booked for a job and I came in with my hair a certain way, or I came in with a certain, vibe and feel, and then I get to rehearsal and I done took my wig off, or I got on bummy clothes. I ain't got no makeup on. I just look like I woke up out the bed, got up, and got in the car and came. That ain't gonna work. No, like, because why? This is the show. Mm, we are at the show, y'all. Rehearsals. This is the job. Actually, this is actually show. The show at the end is just like the icing on the cake. This is actually the show. The rehearsals will make or break you. Will keep you there or not keep you there. And sometimes we miss the part of making it a thing. So we kind of like downplay it like it's not important, but it is really important. It's most of the time, this is how most dancers don't even realize they get hired for stuff, is in this space, or recommended or referred, or hey, I got somebody that they're great in rehearsal. They understand the assignment. They come in, kill it, do their job, whatever. It is a space of learning and growing and all that, but it's also like I said, personal development. If I know I want to get better at a certain type of level of performance, I'm going to use that rehearsal as my training space. I'm going to absolutely be like, yeah. So when I was a dancer, I wasn't even really trying to get booked. I kept saying, I just want to get booked for Carnival. And for me, Carnival meant I can get seen by people that do hire, because we didn't have Instagram, no social media, none of the stuff y'all got. We ain't had it. So I had to figure out how to get booked. But before getting booked, I just need to get seen, because some of these people don't teach. They may not have auditions. So how do I get in front of these people? So that was my way of like, I want to book Carnival. I just want to book Carnival. So Carnival again was like the space where choreographers or aspiring choreographers put pieces together. So they asked everybody to do it. I'm like, yes, I'll be in your piece. I'll be in your piece. And it's great. It's dope. Y'all know. I know it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm dancing. I'm with it. I need to get on stage. I need to get seen so that I can get into these rehearsals. Because once I get into rehearsals, it's a wrap. Y'all definitely gonna bring me back over and over again. Just get me in there. I just need to get in there. Once I'm in there, I'm good. I can stay. So how do you get into the rooms? How do you stay in those rooms? How do you get don't focus on trying to book the job. Focus on booking the room. Focus on getting in there. Because if you get in there enough over and over again, then it's like, okay, that's where you're gonna be at all the time. You're gonna always have rehearsal. You're gonna always have rehearsal. And then the person that again, the energy, I'm a read the room type of person. So if the rehearsal calls for me to be a little more extrovert, then maybe you got to be a little more extrovert. If that's not you, it's cool to be quiet and shy and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes that ain't the setting for it. And then vice versa. Sometimes too much talking is too much. You don't need to say a lot. This is getting here, learn the steps. If you're one of those like, if you're one of those, I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't gonna, you're not gonna be in there a lot. They're gonna, because people, it's too much. It might be too much, so you gotta find the balance. You gotta know when I need to give a little more, when I need to pull back. It's okay. You can be you, but when you're in those spaces, remember you at work. So every time at work don't mean every job is different. Every artist is different. Every choreographer is different. You just gotta know, you gotta feel it out. I can't tell you do this more and do this less. No, you gotta figure it out. Like, okay, yeah, in this room, I need to make sure they see me, or they feel me. And I have a lot of dancers that had to figure that out. I'm like, you're an amazing dancer, but I don't remember you. You were quiet. You for some reason I didn't see you in there. But when I do see you, I'm like, oh yeah, you're and vice versa. Sometimes it's too much. That ain't the energy. When you work with artists, you just got to be mindful of those things. You got to make sure what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Rehearsal is a very sacred space. So being accessible for the choreographer, being, open to be used, like I said, in those spaces, what value are you bringing into those spaces besides your dancing? What else are you gonna bring? Are you a leader? Are you somebody that's like, I always have positive energy, so cool. I'll be that person for rehearsals. Are you somebody that's like, I'm great for me, I was great at video. So I filmed everything, which brought value to the choreographer and the artist. Like, oh yeah, Kiki gonna always have a video, so we good. That means they gonna always hire me because they know I'm gonna bring something outside of me dancing. What else can you bring? Are you somebody that's like, you do music editing? Oh yeah, I can edit it, music for rehearsal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, good, good. You taking it. Are you somebody that's organized? Like you are, I can make sure everybody's in a group chat and I can relay information. Are you on it? Like, are you an early bird? I get to the rehearsals before everybody. Are you a leader in warming up people? Oh my gosh, yes, I can warm it up. I got it. Yeah, I warm up everybody. Are you a cleaner? Are you great with cleaning, like choreo? Are you a good teacher? Can you teach? Let's go over these steps. Let's go over the counts. Make sure we got them. Do you work well with artists and actors? Can you assist? Are you a great assistant? Like, you don't worry about making all those steps. Are you a great assistant? Can you actually assist the choreographer? Hey, what do you need? Do you need me to pick up something? Do you need me to drop off something? Do you need me to come in early? Do you need me to come in on my day off? Do you need you know, what else can I bring to the space that's gonna keep me here and have them bring me back again? Because I brought something besides my dancing that they need. It ain't always about the steps. People, I'm telling you, people bring people on back in because they helped with something that they liked and needed, and it was enough of value for me to want to bring them in again. I loved editing, so I used to edit. I used to create Dropbox folders. I had all the videos, so I'm like, yeah, that carried me my entire career. I've done so much editing and folders of videos and organizing and submitting, and like I love that. I love doing that. So, it needs to be something that you love doing. You don't make up something that you don't like doing. It's like if you don't like doing it, don't do that. I loved editing. I loved video. I loved being behind the scenes. I'm a behind the scenes type of girl. I'm capturing stuff. I'm taking pictures like, oh, yes. You don't have to tell me to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I already know what's needed. I'm going to bring value to you. I'm going to bring value to this project, to this job, to this room that you're going to remember. That's how you get hired again. Easy. Find something that you're good at that they need and that you can offer. And if it's something, and it is not always a physical thing. It's just sometimes it's energy. It's like, are you a good prayer? Are you the one? Are you the prayer for before the shows? Because everybody needs them. Oh yeah, hey, we need you bring me in. Your prayers be lit before our shows. Are you a some we've had people that like, hey, let's do a meditation before rehearsal. Lead in meditation. Ah, yes, calmness, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out, but what is that? What can I do that will help bring value? Are you a good stylist? If you can style, oh my God. Oh, then she's a stylist. She didn't even realize she was styling back then. She was a stylist for shows because she'd be like, yeah, we got to look fresh. We got to look lit. Like, we was dancing for Sierra. And so she would always like, we got to go stop at the mall, and just take an initiative, being able to be comfortable with what you good at and say, hey, I think we should do this, or, be smart and have discernment with it. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be like, I gotta figure out something for me to do so I can make sure. No, it should come natural. Like it's something you do already. It ain't gonna be something that you just, I gotta make up something. No, like, yeah, I love styling. So, do you need me to pick up some clothes? Do you need me to like drop off some stuff? I can do a Pinterest. I don't even do Pinterest, but I know that's what everybody does that does styling. So it's like, oh, I can do a Pinterest, or I can put together some looks, or I was great at Google, so I would pull stuff and whatever. I loved casting like that. I was like, oh my God, clearly, got a whole business, right? I loved searching and digging and finding people and like, ooh, getting their info. I love that. I was good at it. It's like, oh, can you find me such and such? I'm quick. Got to be quick. Got to be on it. Whatever that is for you. I'm just throwing out a bunch of stuff. I just want to just whatever that is for you. You need to lean in all the way and really have that attached to you as a person of value besides dancing, because the dancing is great and it's only so far, but if you got something special that people love or need that you can bring to a project situation that can help enhance what you already got, I mean, that's it sold. Sold. So think about that. Those are things that I always want to make sure you guys, and it ain't just in the rehearsal, it's like the job itself as well. Like once you're on the job. But lean into that. Don't think the only way you're gonna get jobs is you're dancing. It's like, no, like I can do so many more other things that is of value that I can offer and be able to bring into a space that I feel is it's needed. Like this needs to be in this space, or I can contribute to this. And then every job doesn't even require that. It's not like every single job I got to figure out what I'm gonna bring. No, you'll know, you will feel it. It won't be a I wonder what I can do. You're gonna know. It's gonna be like, this is something that I think I feel great at, doing or wanting to add. We y'all in the content creation era, so social media, like if you good in social media and you can bring that, if you good, like, oh, I loved editing, but even now, like now with social media, with reels and stuff like that, if you somebody that's good at that, you're like, oh yeah, I just took some quick little photos and videos on, put a little quick, do a little quick little edit, and then you show that to like a choreographer or whatever, and it's dope. Oh, they like, yeah, you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have time to be doing all that. They like, I need somebody to be thinking about that before. I don't want to have to tell you. I shouldn't have to say it. You have to figure out what's missing, what's in this space that's needed, and then you fill the void. You fill whatever that pocket of whatever it is. If you do hair, oh, yes, somebody does hair, they can like add. You know how to do hair, you know how to do makeup, oh, in there. I can do all the girls. Yes, I can do all the girls' hair. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I can do your makeup. I can do it. What, bro? Yes. Okay. It's like people just be like, okay, people be getting jobs. They get other jobs. They get two checks because they can do somebody's makeup and they dance. They get two checks because they can do somebody's hair and dance. They get two checks because they know how to do some behind the scenes editing that they need to submit for this project and dance. Oh, you can edit music. Oh, great. You know what I'm saying? You know how to, oh, you got some BTS photos. You know how to do prints, shirts. I'm just throwing a bunch of shit out here. I just want y'all to hear all of the options of, never thought about that. Okay. I actually do this anyway on the side. I got my own business. I make this, that, and the other. Yes. It ain't, but it's not even really about a business either. It's just, I just love doing it. Um, I'm a prayer warrior. I do affirmations, like whatever your thing is. I stretch dancers really well. I can do massages. Just like whatever. I do nails. Everybody get their nails done. Like do your nails, whatever. So just think about that and start figuring out ways to incorporate what you do well with your dance, so that there is something else that you can add, so that if and ever there comes a time where it might be you and somebody else and y'all both dance the same, but you might have an edge because you got something else that's special of value that they may feel it's worth having. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think we need them on this one because we don't need whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of like my basic overview of rehearsals. Like I said, I'm very passionate about that. Obviously, created a whole thing around it with the room that has, to me, been super beneficial with many, many, many dancers that have actually done the room, a couple of times. And it really wasn't nothing to do with them not being a good dancer per se. It's more about connecting what I'm trying to get to faster. So if in my mind, like I want to go on tour and I've been in class a lot, like I'm ready. I've been dancing, 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 dancing. There are certain things that we've been able to produce in the room that you just won't catch in a class setting, that will make you feel like, I feel like I just did the job because I'm whoa out. Like they just kicked my ass for these last 3 days. I done learned all these songs we literally have filmed, and I've been through the mental capacity of what I feel like this is going to be, somewhat close to. It ain't gonna be the exact, but I'm getting there. And a lot of those dances that I have seen that they've done other stuff, of course, but have gone through it, there was something that clicked and it was like, okay, yes. And now, they're doing other jobs that they are really like almost redoing what they've already done in the room, which is really, really dope. So yeah, so that's kind of like an overview of rehearsal. So I'll ask you guys, what are your thoughts as far as prior to now, when you did go to rehearsal or, you know, you whatever, you might have got booked for a job or not even a job, you know, it could be a show, showcase performance, whatever. And, you know, you had rehearsal, practice, whatever. How was that for you? And at any point, did you ever feel like, you know, did you ever mentally go to a space where I'm actually doing the job? Or was it always, I haven't gotten to the job yet. This is just rehearsal. Mm-hmm.
I would say for me, if I'm being real, if I'm being 100, I would come because I rehearse in like really baggy clothes.
Yeah. That's fine.
And um it's just same. It just makes me feel really swaggy sometimes. And it wouldn't click. And I'm just thinking back to there's actually a specific show that I did. And it's similar to like a Club Jeté
Mm-hmm.
carnival type in Toronto. We call it
Mm-hmm.
Fever here.
Mm-hmm.
And leading up to it, the rehearsals, um, it was like a girl group type thing. So we actually did goodies. And we did like it was this whole like girl paying homage to female stars. So we did Sierra goodies. Um we did Aaliyah, uh Try Again. And I didn't emit that any of that vibe during the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the way that I showed up, which is crazy because I actually had a question about if we should dress up during class or is it, and so
Mm-hmm.
like I've started to do well, like before my operation, I was like starting to dress up and like try on things that I feel real cool in. But I just remember for that show, every rehearsal, I rolled into rehearsal like I just rolled out of bed. Not with the
Mm-hmm.
bonnet or anything, but it
Yeah.
just really felt that way.
Yeah.
And then I remember there's a video, actually, I even posted a part of it to the highlight because I looked real cute when I was center buff and stuff. But what was so crazy is like I messed up and the audience couldn't tell because I played it off like I was like I was supposed to give main character energy. But I
Mm-hmm.
just remember in my head through the entire piece not feeling prepared and not feeling ready because I hadn't tapped into
Yeah.
what that was. I hadn't tapped into the performance. For me, it was like rehearsal, rehearsal. All right, cool. Let's
Yeah.
get the steps and like whatever. Until I got on stage and then it was like I like deer in headlights. Thankfully, didn't go down in flames, but as you were talking about that distinctly, I remember like that's one part where like I didn't rehearse that part,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look good though, we killed it. But
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
yeah.
not, it's more of nobody, you shouldn't feel it. You shouldn't even feel away because it's like, that's not how we're conditioned to practice. It's like, I mean, even as little, when you had dance class, I mean, you could say this is kind of the same, you know, practice or rehearsal. Well, not even rehearsal, but training.
Mhm.
So it's just like the energy isn't the same of like we're at the show and we're in class and we're like, it ain't that. It's like we in class, y'all. And first combination, you know, so it's that energy. So that has carried. So it's hard to like all of a sudden shift your mindset on approaching if you went to a dance studio and then you all of a sudden you're dancing, you know, trying to dance professional. It's like, well, I mean, this is kind of saying go to class, train, whatever, and then we go to practice. Practice. It's not like performance. It don't. It ain't giving that. It ain't giving that. It's never gonna give that. You have to give it. You literally have to give it. And as far as the dress for rehearsals, I always tell this story of this dancer. His name is Yusuke. He's so dope, and he used to come. We had rehearsals for like Step Up, and he would come in outfit, fly like already on set, already on camera on, but we practicing. We just learning the choreo. We don't even know what we doing for this scene, but he's coming in looking like he's ready to be on camera today. Just fly and figuring out what his look is. And halfway through the rehearsal, he done changed outfits. He in a whole nother look, whole nother vibe, killing on his off time, downtime. He's filming, he's practicing, he's going through his freestyle. He's performing. He ain't no camera nowhere yet set up, propped up to film nothing. But he's already on set for this TV show. Absolutely. I will never forget that because it stuck so vividly. My mom like, oh no, he's coming in here into this rehearsal for this TV show, but he's already on set right now. He's already figuring out what his move's gonna be, his look and feel and vibe, and he's testing it out. He's like, maybe that was the scene where we want. He coming in to the practice, coming in what he think he's gonna wear. So let's test this out now. I don't have to wait till tomorrow. Let me see what I'm feeling. And then he's changed halfway through the rehearsal. Sweating. We learned it like it's hot. The show is happening now. I ain't gotta wait for tomorrow. And that has stuck with me ever since he did that. I was like, yeah, I get it. You coming in here looking the part. It may make other people, if they don't know, they may make them feel uncomfortable. Not even uncomfortable. It's like, oh, what you doing too much? No, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. This is how it should be. So if you need to do that, do it. Do it. I mean, class has even changed a lot over the years, especially like Hill's classes. Everybody is coming for the show at this point. It's still a training space, and I'm not mad at it. I'm like, shit, do what you need to do to feel like you are performing if needed in that type of setting. If you haven't gotten to the stage yet or to the performances yet, and you just training, let's go ahead and elevate the training. I ain't mad. So, class 2, come in like you trying to. I mean, it's gonna get filmed and posted, so might as well. Might as well. And your baggy doesn't have to be bummy. You can wear baggy but still be fly. You can still make it like it's still fly though. You know what I'm saying? I love baggy clothes, and but it's never gonna look bummy if that makes sense. Even though it might be like baggy. Hmm. Anybody else?
Yeah, I was thinking about the first time I ever did Cyber in New York, and I remember being in those rehearsals, and it was like it was getting so close to the show, and I'm like, yo, we still got things to finish, and I'm like, we're changing stuff last minute, and I was like, and that time period, I'm like what are we doing basically, like why don't we have it, we should have it together, it's a few days before the show, like we should be solidified and stuff. But then over the years, and then even now with this conversation, is like things could change 2 minutes before the show. So that was actually like, please don't burp. Good training to have starting out. And even as I did shows over the years and things like that, whenever things were changing, it wasn't as stressful to me because of that first experience with things just not being all the way put together, like 2 days before the show.
Yeah.
And then I also wanted to add on about the dressing up thing, because I had took an intensive before a few years ago that told us that they were telling us, always dress up, like even when it's class, just always dress up, because that's your way of also being able to, when you go to an audition, already knowing what works, instead of going to the audition and then you're at the audition figuring out this shirt doesn't work, and you're already at the audition. And so that was a good reminder to have, because it's not as prominent in New York that people dress up for classes. So it can feel like you're doing too much. I feel like it more so happens in LA, that you see everybody's always dressed up. They always dress down in LA. But here it's very common that people are coming in their sweats or in their t-shirts, like, wearing, like having their hoods or their hoodies, and it's very common. Even in intensives, when they tell us to dress up, like sometimes they're not going all the way, but it was a good reminder to have, like, even if you're the one doing too much, do too much or do more.
They're gonna remember you though. Yeah,
Mhm.
especially if you don't. Like yeah, you got to get that out of your head and in your mind. You know how like you'll see a dancer, it's like, oh my God, they're such a star, you know, and it's like you got to just kind of know that and be okay with whatever that looks like for you. So if that means like I gotta stand out, okay, I used to wear like bright colors. I just love wearing bright colors, whether I was in class or a rehearsal or whatever. I just wanted to feel like a star before any of all this stuff. Even I gotta feel it for myself. So whatever that looks like for you, if it's, you know, I just gotta look and feel good, fly, hair, makeup done, whatever. I could never go to rehearsal with like nothing on my face. I just felt like I can't. If somebody comes in, if they're now, y'all ain't got no options between social media, cameras, documentaries, folks filming. You don't even know the camera's on. We can't come in here looking crazy. It's no longer an option. So, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Anybody else?
Hey girl, good evening.
Hey.
Yes. Um, just like from overall, like with the conversation of the call, I know for me, a growing opportunity, and Kiki, you was there. What year are we in? 2025. So you
Yeah.
said to be in 2023. Sorry, I had to think. But in the rehearsal space, like being in the room, my first time like being in the room was during that like SWV first tour, not the first tour, but you
Yeah.
know, so yeah, that was 2023 because last year was 2024. Okay, sorry, but that was like such a great learning moment for me. Like
Yeah.
I definitely grew so much in that. Like what? It was like 3 days.
Yeah.
And the first time I feel like I like had to like fight for my life for real. It was an internal win because I didn't feel like I gave up, regardless of like not like getting the job completely.
Yeah.
But it was really like how you said, we had to learn that whole set. Um, it wasn't short, and that was just really like the first half intro, honestly, and it was like 20 minutes. And learned that whole thing really like in a day and a half.
Yeah.
um
Mm.
what's it like to push your body physically. I already am like someone who's physically active, but like that was one of the reasons that prompted me to like get a trainer more, like to push myself a little bit more, because I
Yeah.
do remember getting through that day. But when I went to the bathroom, the way I was heating, I was dying, yo, and I was like, I can't be doing that. Like I ain't doing it in the room. My chest was hot. Golly. I was like, damn. So like, you know, I'm like, I can't feel like that. But that was like really like one of my first like in the room in like a more, I guess, traditional commercial dance space. And it like everything that you have shared tonight, like made me definitely remember, reflect on that moment, and what motivated me and how I pursue or approach my training now in regards to that. So everything like you said is true, but like that was a moment where I was like, damn, like I know I was in a space to get there, but I wasn't where I was just in a good enough space to where I was able to stay there.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like I'm not shading myself, like that's just like where I was on my journey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, shit, we can't do that again. Like the next time it's like if I'm in that room like that, I I'm making it to the stage. Like I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I feel like God made me have that experience. It was so, like I said, it was a very good just a turning point, or just one of those like
Mhm.
highlighted learning experiences you have in your life. It was one of those for me.
Yeah.
Okay, like this is what it's like to really be ready. Um,
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I think, it's one of those like,
and you're together, and I'm that way, like the things you've been mentioning. And so yeah, I've been having to, like right now when we get off the phone, like I was saying, I like rehearse. I know for me, I'm someone I'm like, I know I'll be better the next day. But right now, Ashley is waiting for me to join her in my old apartment gym so we can practice for stuff we learned in House of London. Because we just
Amen.
want to make sure it look better than what we learned. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have rehearsal again tomorrow. So, like, that's what we got to do. Like, learning like that. I probably didn't have that much of a habit of that if it
Yes.
weren't for the past year or so. But I'm definitely wasn't doing that before that HWV thing. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's
So yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It's gonna show up again, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna be ready. And that, I mean, yeah, like I said, sometimes you have to go through that mental preparation for what is coming. You've already gone through it, so you understand how
Mm-hmm.
it works and what you need to do. So no, that's good. That's great, and I'm glad y'all are doing that, especially with Lyric. Like, man, he gonna have y'all so good, so ready, so ready. Yeah,
Amen.
good. Okay, go ahead, Keontae.
Hey, yeah, I was trying to hop in. Y'all just unmute faster than me. But I just wanted to say I feel like usually when I go to rehearsals and stuff, I think that I always do try to put myself like in the mindset of like trying to already be on stage or imagining yourself on stage or dancing for the people in the high rise or up in the higher sections or whatever. I think that for sure, maybe like I guess what I'm missing is just like a look or something. I don't know. I feel like definitely like going into rehearsals, I feel like I definitely do the baggy look too, but I feel like maybe I need to find like I don't know some more sexy looks or something that like fit my body type or something. I'm not
Hmm.
sure. Like just like something that I don't know like stands out as far as like a look.
Yeah.
And then like when you're talking about like connecting or like energy bring, I feel like I'm always feel like I don't want to do too much or over like step boundaries or be like the loud person and like why are you talking like that much,
Yeah.
like we don't know you like that, like calm down, relax, like so I feel like maybe I do kind of like be like I don't know, background character like in the shadows or
Mm,
something. I'm
I
not
get
sure,
that.
but I feel like yeah, I just feel like when I'm in like a lot of like because I don't know people beyond dance class really, I'm not comfortable to really do much else but be in class and like be learning what's going on or like just looking at the choreographer, say, okay, this is this, this is that. But I'm not like I don't feel even I guess really comfortable enough to do extra. Even though
Hmm.
I feel like I could be somebody that is like good at stretching people. Like I feel like I stretch myself every morning. I feel like I can go through a full body stretch with people. But
Oh,
like, am I gonna like come out and say I can stretch people? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that because I feel like I'm not on that level. Like I'm not there, and I don't know.
mm-mm.
So I'm just
Get out
like,
of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
yeah,
Get out of there. Nope, not even about to do it. Not even about to do it. You have to step into that role. So your thing is going to be getting out of your comfort. Okay. Hey, do you need my league stretch today for rehearsal? I don't mind if you need me to do it, I can do it. Even if you don't want to or don't feel like you should, yes, you're doing that. And do it. And then you did it. And then it's done. It's over. You did it.
mhm,
Okay,
yeah,
so I did that. All right, cool. Then you can do something else. So not being on that level, that ain't no level. That's just you on the job and everybody got to stretch at some point. So let me just go ahead and lead the stretch. And then you
yeah.
become the leader of the stretch. And everybody's like, hey, you take you lead us to the stretch. Yes. Can you stretch me? Oh yeah, your stretch was good. Yeah, I felt so good after run. Yeah, like become that person. Like, oh yeah, you give good stretches.
I guess I just gotta I guess get more comfortable. But that's something I'm still working on. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all good.
yeah,
It's all good. Yeah. So I mean, good. I think everybody kind of had something that they want to like work on, and maybe sometimes you can start approaching your rehearsal space with more intention, and now just use it as motivation. Like even with like Halanada and them, like they're going to practice what they've been rehearsing. It's literally just preparing you. I just think that's the biggest thing. Use it as preparation for when you are on the real jobs or when you're in those spaces, in those rooms, or when opportunity shows up, you'll be prepared because you would have already been approaching it in a different way. It won't be like, I'm just going to rehearsal anymore. It's going to be like, we about to do the job. I'm getting ready for the job. And this is going to get you closer to the thing that you're doing. So yeah, so any of those, takeaways, just kind of figure out what that is for you, something that you naturally do already. Start trying to incorporate that a little bit in those spaces, and then get better at being amazing in those in the room, period. Like get great at killing it in that space. Cause that's how you know you're gonna be on stage or on the tour or at the show. It's like, oh, every time I'm in rehearsal, smashing, or my energy is like lit or whatever I'm giving off. It needs to be at a high level so that all it does is just translate over into the job. So the show is just the icing on the cake. That's it. It's nothing, you know. Sometimes, you don't even make it to the show. So I do, hey, sometimes the show don't even happen. Y'all saw Chris Brown. Remember? AMA's canceled. That rehearsal was lit though, right? That room was off the chain. The rehearsal was the show. Exactly.
That made me so sad because why did you not get to see that show? And I just hope that maybe we can get that in the year of our Lord 2025 because
That was the
I
show.
just
That was it.
that was,
You got it. He put it on his Instagram.
I was so mad.
That was the show. No, it's great. It was, yes. But y'all know how many times y'all be seeing people post the rehearsals. They post the rehearsals damn near the same time as they do the show. Why? Something about that rehearsal was more magical and magnetic and electrifying than that recording on the TV that y'all watched live. It's like, that the camera missed the parts that it should have been taping or didn't catch. The part that I had been rehearsing all that time, you don't even see it because they didn't cut to somebody in the audience that we don't care about. We wanted to see this rest of this show. Like, don't you hate that? Like, get the camera off of them, go back to. And then what? The choreographer posts the rehearsal because that was the show. The show was lit. They was killing it. Sean always posts his rehearsals. And when you see it, you see the show, like the show is amazing. But when you see the rehearsal, you're like, I understand why. This straight on. It ain't no editing. Y'all gonna get this heat right out the back camera in the mirror, straight in. And you can see what it was supposed to be. Yes, the lights and the glitz and the glam and the costuming and all that makeup, hair, and all that was amazing, great, awesome. But the raw uncut is the rehearsal. It's the real show. Chris Brown showed everybody that. Y'all saw. He showed everybody his show, guys. I should have done the AMAs, yes, but it didn't happen. And, it is what it is. But so yeah, so that's it. You guys can start thinking, like I said, just start thinking about what your thing is and lean into that. You should definitely write it down too, like some of your skills that you think are would be an asset. What are some of the skills that you have that would be an asset or bring value to, say, a choreographer, or artist, manager, producer, whatever? What is that? And like lean into that for real, because you're gonna need it. Cool. All righty. Well, you guys have an amazing night. And I will see you on Thursday.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Sweet dreams, y'all.
Bye.